I can see you perfectly from here. I told you, I'd never quit the hunt. Now you're mine.
Wolf 2 is not very difficult to beat, but she is the most complicated boss to optimize for sure. This fight changes heavily between versions due to the in-game frame rate and controls. If you want to have a steady frame rate on emulator for practice purposes, set up the CPU overclocking to 1.5, but remember to switch it back to 1 when you're done or your runs won't be accepted. Let's have a look at this map. She moves left and right in the snowfield in front of you, hiding behind each one of these trees marked in green, and firing on the open field from these 4 positions marked in yellow. She can also try to shoot you from behind the trees after hiding behind them for around 8 seconds, but you should not worry about that. When she is moving around, you can get shots with your PSG-1. When she is hiding behind the trees, you can use your stingers to force her out. Remember to pick up 5 at the end of the hind fight. The fastest way to defeat her is to keep shooting with the PSG-1 while she is on the move. If you hit her before she reaches a tree, she will skip it and will keep running around, being open for another shot. If done correctly, you can do the whole fight like this, but it's very difficult and her movements will never be the same, as they change based on many factors. To make it short, to get good at this fight, you have to spend many hours trying it over and over and memorizing her patterns, recognizing them on the spot and adjusting immediately based on what is going on the screen. The only difference between difficulties is the amount of hits needed to kill her. Nothing else changes. PSG-1 and Stinger deal the same amount of damage. On easy you need 7 hits, on normal 8, hard 9 and extreme 10. This means you'll have to learn just one strategy and try to improve it as much as possible. She will spawn randomly based on the frame you close the codec, which means you have no control over it. So, the first thing to do is to equip your stingers and to locate her. At this point, based on her position, you can either choose to wait until she stops or switch to the PSG-1 to try and intercept her on the move. If you wait until she stops, she will either hide behind a tree or aim at you on the open field. If she does the latter one, you can switch to the PSG-1 after she stops and abuse your iframes to let her miss on purpose. She will be caught on reload and you'll have a free shot. Be careful, because when she goes behind the big snow pile in the middle, she can decide to change direction and go back from where she came. If you are planning to intercept her with the PSG-1 from the start, be sure to know her next move. You can do that by watching her movements with the Stinger. She will never change direction twice. So if you see her doing that once, you can safely switch to the PSG-1 and start your juggle. After your first hit, you can more or less guess where she is going to go next, based on her previous movements, and keep doing that until she is dead. Generally, if she is going towards either left or right, she will keep going in that direction until there is a dead hand. But if she hides behind any of the trees, she can defy this rule and throw your prediction off, going back and forth. If she hides behind a tree, get up and force her out with a Stinger, then switch back to the PSG-1 and keep trying to juggle her. But be careful to lock on the top square when she is hiding behind any of these trees, or your missile will hit the ground. Also, when she is hiding behind this tree, lock on and move your aim to the right before shooting, or else you will hit the tree in front of her and miss. This is all you need to know, but these are some good side notes that can help improve your fight. The analog stick moves the scope of the PSG-1 at full speed from the start, while the D-pad requires a build-up time. Use the analog stick to cover longer distances and the D-pad to slightly adjust the aim. You can reset the PSG-1 aim to negate the trembling effects, but losing sight of Wolf becomes much more easier this way if you're not comfortable with her patterns. You can either choose to do that or not, but if you want to reset the scope, be sure to do that after each hit, so Wolf doesn't run away. Your PSG-1 has no recoil and it is a semi-automatic rifle, which means you can rapid fire to have a great chance to hit her on the move. Just be aware of the shots needed to kill her and the amount of ammo you got. If you didn't waste all your ammo on Wolf 1, you should have enough to get a consistent double shot on any difficulty. We run this game using the in-game timer, and if you pause the game with either start or F3 for the PC version, you will stop it. This is useful if you are unsure about her next move. If you pause the game after each hit, you can tell by the next few frames where she is going to go. I find this technique quite uncomfortable, but if you can master it, you can be sure where to aim next. Just don't rely on it too much during races. Now you have some solid knowledge on how to fight Wolf 2. It is up to you to put it on practice. For more tutorials and info, visit MetalGearSpeedrunners.com.